All right, let's just jump right into it. We've been digging through literally hundreds of faceless YouTube channels to find the 8 specific niches that are set to absolutely explode in 2025. So you have the best shot at success and some
First, we gotta tackle a mystery that honestly drives a lot of creators crazy. You've seen it, right? 2 channels, they have pretty much the same number of views, but one is making way more money. Well, the secret isn't just about getting views. It's all about the niche.
And I'm not talking about a small difference here. Let me show you a real-world example. How on earth can one creator make 4 times more money than another when their view count is just a tiny bit higher?
Okay, so check this out. This is where the hard data really tells the story. On the left, you've got a psychology channel, 5 million views, and it brought in just under 10 grand for the year. Not bad. But then look at the right, an AI channel with only 1 million more views, so 6 million total, cashed in over $45,000. I mean, come on, that huge gap, that's what this is all about.
So what's the magic ingredient here? It all comes down to one single metric, RPM. That's revenue per mil. Basically, it's how much YouTube pays you for every 1,000 views you get. And the crazy thing is, that number is almost entirely decided by your niche. That AI channel, its RPM was in a completely different universe compared to the psychology one. And that is the game we're trying to win.
Okay, so now that we get the why, let's get into the what. We're going to start our countdown, kicking things off with some niches that are all about creative storytelling and personal growth.
All right, coming in at number 8, we have anime self-help. Now, this is a really cool and kind of unique twist on the whole self-improvement genre. You take these super captivating visuals from anime and use them to talk about things like discipline, building confidence, or, breaking bad habits. And you can already see the potential here. I mean, look at a channel like Incognito CEO. They've pulled in over 200,000 subscribers with just 15 videos. And then there's Fame Inspector, who's making around $2 grand a month with an RPM of about $4.50. This niche is just warming up for sure. So let's break it down with our scorecard. The earning potential, for now, is a 4 out of 10. But, and this is a big but, the ease of creation is a whopping 9 out of 10. Especially now with all these new AI tools that can literally generate anime-style clips for you. That gives it a pretty solid average score of 6.5.
All right, next up at number 7, moral stories. Remember that moral science class you probably had in school? Yeah, this is basically the YouTube version of that. It's all about telling these simple but really powerful stories that leave you with a good lesson.
Okay, for moral stories, we're seeing the earning potential get a little bump up to a 5 out of 10. The RPMs here are usually hovering somewhere between $5 and $6. And just like the last one, it's super easy to create this stuff a solid 9 out of 10. You can find these stories pretty much everywhere and then use AI to bring them to life. That gives it a really strong average of 7.
Sliding in at number 6 is ancient philosophy. Now, we've all seen this stuff absolutely blow up on shorts, right? But the big trend we're seeing for 2025 is this content making the leap into long-form videos. People are just hungry for that timeless wisdom, and creators are definitely starting to catch on.
And the scorecard really shows this potential. Earning potential, a solid 6 out of 10. And because all this information is, public domain and super easy to find, the ease of creation is an 8 out of 10. This makes it a really accessible niche with a ton of room to grow. All right, we're hitting the halfway point. Now we're getting into what I call the high-stakes niches. This is where the money starts to get really serious, but you guessed it, so does the work involved. Okay, number 5 is business documentaries. This one is so powerful because it sits right at the intersection of finance and making money, 2 things advertisers absolutely love to throw money at. And on top of that, telling stories about huge companies, their successes, their failures, their controversies, that's just a massive crowd puller. Now just take a look at this scorecard. The earning potential is a staggering 9 out of 10. We're talking about channels pulling in over 15 grand a month. But, and this is the catch, the ease of creation is only a 4 out of 10. These videos take some serious research, scripting, and editing, so you really have to be passionate about it to keep it going. Coming in at number 4, we've got a personal favorite of mine, horror and scary stories. The source material we looked at called this a deadly combination, and honestly, for good reason. It's got this amazing mix of incredibly high earnings, but the videos are actually pretty easy to make.
And the scorecard just proves it. We're looking at an 8 out of 10 for earning potential. I'm talking RPMs that can hit $12, plus a 7 out of 10 for how easy they are to make. Seriously, channels in this space have real millionaire potential. It's one of the most balanced and profitable niches on this entire list. All right, here we go. We've made it to the final countdown. These are the top 3 faceless niches for 2025, and this is where the money-making opportunities can be genuinely life-changing.
Taking the bronze medal at number 3 is basic financial education. And I really want to stress the word basic here. You do not need a degree in finance for this. We're talking about the fundamentals. The habits that keep people broke or the sacrifices you have to make to build wealth.
And because this is technically a finance niche, the earning potential is just off the charts, a 9 out of 10. RPMs can hit anywhere from $12 to even $20. The ease of creation is still a super respectable 7, which makes this an absolutely top-tier niche for making money, with an amazing average score of 8.
Okay, our runner-up at number 2, and this is probably no surprise, it's make money online with AI. I mean, this niche is the perfect storm. It combines 2 of the hottest trends on the entire planet, the whole creator economy and, of course, artificial intelligence. The demand for this kind of content is just insane, and the RPMs are consistently high, usually between $7 and $10. It's just a powerhouse combination.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The number 1, most profitable, faceless niche for 2025 is, can I get a drum roll, please? 3D animation. Yeah, I bet you did not see that one coming. This is, without a doubt, one of the most exciting and just explosive faceless niches that is taking YouTube by storm right now. And if you're kind of scratching your head wondering why, just look at this number, 2.6 billion. That's billion with a B. That is how many monthly views the top channels in this space are getting, mostly on shorts. The potential here is just, it's astronomical. Now you're probably thinking, 3D animation? That sounds incredibly hard. And you're right. Traditionally, this would get a terrible score for ease of creation. But thanks to a bunch of new AI tools, it's becoming more and more accessible every day. So that gives it a 6 out of 10 for creation, which, when you pair that with a 9 out of 10 for earning potential, well, this is the new frontier. So there you have it. We've gone through the 8 best niches for 2025. But that leaves us with the biggest question of all, right? How do you choose which one is right for you? Well, it really boils down to one fundamental choice. Are you going to chase those super high RPMs in a niche like business documentaries, even if making the videos feels like a total grind? Or do you follow what you're actually passionate about in a niche that might have a slightly lower, but still really solid earning potential? And here's the most important thing to remember in all of this. YouTube, it's a marathon, not a sprint. To succeed, you have to be consistent. You have to be able to show up day in and day out, and that is next to impossible if you don't genuinely enjoy the stuff you're making. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to really think about. Don't just ask which niche makes the most money. Instead, ask yourself this: which of these niches am I passionate enough about to actually master? Because the answer to that question, that's where you're going to find your success.